Hey lads, I just wanted to do a quick one about the football that happened on the weekend, and as you can see by the title of this video, it is Can Manchester United win the title this season? And to be honest, I've thought about this really hard, and I think we actually are a contender, and I'm not just saying this because of the Leeds United win. Like, Leeds United was good, so we won 5-1, right? So we won 5-1, but the thing that we can't get too carried away with is that we put 5 past them last year. Scott McTominay scored a fucking hat-trick against them last year, right? So the reality is, we've signed Jadon Sancho for like 73 million, and then we've signed Raphael Varane for like 30 million. That's over 100 million spent. Haven't really let anyone that high profile go. So I don't think, in order to actually win the title, I think we need a solid CDM, like a defensive midfielder, to play alongside Pogba or Van der Beek, right? Because I think when you've got Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and Van der Beek, when you've got those 3 players, 2 of them need to play. You can't keep going on with this Fred McTominay bullshit. You can't do it. If you've got 3 playmakers, you've got to play at least 2 of them. I know they're doing this thing with Pogba on the left at the moment, but we all know he's probably better a little bit deeper where he can dictate the play. So I think Pogba needs to go back into that not central defensive, but centre midfield role. And then we need to get a CDM in that can actually complement Pogba. Like, I don't know, maybe an Ndidi type player. Maybe even someone like Idrissa Gana. I mean, there's that other bloke whose name escapes me that everyone's bloody talking about. I can't think of him. But he's that young 17-year-old that everyone's on about, and I think that's who we should get. Although I've forgotten his name, but yeah, I can't see us actually winning the league without without that player, like that player to be the central defensive midfielder. Because otherwise, like Ollie started the season the same way he was playing the rest of the season, like with Maguire and Lindelof and Fred and McTominay, and obviously we played really well. We've gotten away with it on that occasion, but I don't see it necessarily continuing. I think we will compete for the title, don't get me wrong, I'm not being negative. I think that we will compete for the title, because I think Sancho's a good signing who's going to add some creativity, like potentially when Bruno or Marcus Rashford, when them lot aren't having a good game, I think Sancho can potentially come in and create something there. So I think that's a good signing. I think Varane and Maguire at the back is going to be a good partnership. And I do actually think we've got probably the best midfield in the league if we added a good centre defensive midfielder. But without that, I just can't see us being... I can see us being there or thereabouts. I could see us finishing 3rd or 2nd again. But without that player, like, that's one of the biggest weaknesses in our team for me. Like, the way that we move the ball around the centre of midfield, the way that we were doing it last season, it wasn't good enough. And that's really because we don't have a good quality centre defensive midfielder. That basically means that we're then relying on Fred and McTominay, because Ollie isn't confident enough to play Pogba there. Now, is Ollie the man to win us the league? Maybe, he might be, but I think he's proven on a few occasions that in the big games his tactics do sometimes let him down. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't win a league title. But I'm not sure I'm sold on us winning another trophy this year, be that the Champions League or the FA Cup, because we don't do well in those games under Solskjaer. Like, when it comes to those semi-finals and finals, he gets it wrong. He does. And that's not, there's lots of other managers that are in that position. Guardiola's got it wrong ever since Barcelona, and everyone hails him as the Messiah. So it's not like I'm dissing Solskjaer by saying that, but it's just true. He gets to those games and he often gets out-fought, or... but the other team just has a little bit more, or we let the other team back into the game. Like, those things always happen when we get to a semi-final or a final, and that's been shown throughout Solskjaer's reign now. So we've got enough to go off to see that. But in order to win the league, I think everyone else has strengthened. I don't think City have strengthened hugely, but I don't necessarily think they needed to. I think Grealish adds to what they already have. Like, he's not a different type of player, but he's the same type of player. So I think City are going to be right up there again. They're probably still favourites. I can't see anyone beating them. Liverpool are actually the dark horse because they've got Konate and Van Dijk at the back now. Like, when they're both fit and playing together, that's going to be quite difficult to get past. So I think their defence is going to be solid, and I think that confidence is potentially going to echo throughout the rest of that team. So I think it could be a 3 or 4 horse race this year. I genuinely think like United, Chelsea, Liverpool and City could all be competing for the title at different points in the season, and we could all be top at different points in the season. I think Chelsea actually have a great shot. It depends on Lukaku. I mean, Lukaku, whilst a great player and a really good goal scorer, he does have those off spells and he doesn't always do great in big games. So I think that could potentially hurt Chelsea at some point if but he will get them the goals that they want, that they kind of missed last year. So I think Chelsea are going to be tough. I think City have to be favourites, and I wouldn't write Liverpool off either. So whilst this weekend wasn't good for City, I don't think it changes that much. This was a good weekend for us. A good little victory to start off the season. And we've got a few good games we've got a few quite, not easy, but games that we should win in our first few games. And that should allow us to get off to a decent start in the league. So I'm quite happy with how that has gone. But I honestly think if we're not careful, we're going to end up in a battle for top 4. Like, I'm deadly serious, and I don't want us to be in that position, but I think that if we go on a bad run, like if we end up playing the kind of shit we were doing last season, if we end up on one of those kind of runs that we did after Christmas last season, we will end up in a top 4 battle, because Liverpool are going to be good. You've got West Ham, who still look strong. Everton are good. Then you've got, Arsenal, they might sack Arteta, but they might improve their squad. We don't really know what they're going to do. Chelsea I think it's probably going to be between Chelsea and City, to be honest with you, and I think City are just going to take it. So that's what I think. I don't actually think United will win the title, but I do think that we can compete for it this season. I think we can finish 3rd or 2nd again, and I think it will be closer than last time. So, guys, thank you very much. I'm just approaching 800 subscribers. I'm on that race to 1,000. So please give the channel a little like and a subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.